Hello everyone, welcome back to the Shonky Lab. I'm Elton, and this week I'm joined by Mr. Guest Producer, Dean Martin from LSG Media. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you very much. I'm sitting here in shame. I got to be honest with you. I'm sitting here half ashamed that I'm even talking to you again because it's been a year since you had me on, and I've yet to have you on. And I know we were having a little pre-show convo, and you're like, I don't have people on to get on their shows. Obviously, you wouldn't do that. You're not that kind of guy. But I feel like a schmuck for not having you on. So we need to rectify that post-haste. So we'll have to figure something out, a movie you like, and I want you to join us if we can get you not at 3:30 a.m. your time.
Yeah, crazy.
If possible, right?
Yeah. Just let everyone know what sort of time we're recording at. Because people like to know how things are working around here.
All right.
It's what, 10:30 over your way?
It is. I like that. I like 10:30. Can I use that from now on? That's very classy.
Yeah,
10:30.
That's my royal way of speaking.
Yeah, the kings, as they say.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 10:30 round your way. So it's nice and chilled. You've just done all the things. Everything's packed away, and now you can sit back, relax, and kick back by recording one of these podcasts that hundreds of thousands of people listen to, which is
hundreds of thousands, probably 4 million by. Yeah, I mean, your feed may end up crashing with all of this. So yeah, it's possible. But man, I got to tell you, when you brought this up again, this topic, I was very excited about this. I'm looking forward to this one, man.
Yeah, we need to hit some movies anyway. So I'd like to just find out what's going on and what other people's thoughts are of the films up and coming for this year anyway. So yeah, so that's our subject for today, really. We're going to be talking about movies of 2017 coming out. We did it last year for 2016. We hit some, we forgot some as well, but it doesn't matter.
That's for sure.
We don't have to hit them all.
We don't. And I want to say there's a couple that I think we should just briefly go over from the ones we talked about last year, because I'm really curious as to what you thought about them.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, go for it.
There was a couple. I recall when we were talking last time, I know that obviously Star Wars was a big one, right? I also know Rogue One is one. I want to find out how you felt about it. And then Boy, right? Boy with what the hell's her name? Maggie from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Saw that one. And then there was the other one we were talking about. Oh, of course, Suicide Squad.
Oh, yes.
So you obviously don't want to rehash all that stuff, I'm assuming. You don't want to get too crazy. Although it doesn't sound like you have many rules here, which is my style.
No, there's no rules at all. No.
All right.
If you want to go over them three, yeah, let's quickly.
I'm really curious. Yeah, I mean, we covered Rogue One, ad nauseum. So,
well, I'm still listening to it now. I'm like 4 months into it, and it's still going.
It's a good thing they save your space with those fancy podcasting apps.
I don't even know if I'm halfway through it yet or not. It's one of these things that just never ends.
I was thinking about that. I think back in the cassette tapes because, I'm old. And I was thinking, how many cassette tapes would it take to listen to the Rogue One podcast by LSG Media? And it would probably take 5, right? I mean, they're 40 minutes aside or something.
Yeah.
Around 4 at least, right? So that's a lot. And
4.
I mean, that's silly. It's got to be 4.
There'll be like C90s or the bigger versions as well. They're like 120 minutes.
In 4 CDs, right? If you had to buy the thing, it'd be one of those rectangular CD boxes, a picture of my face on it, making a stupid smirk.
Yeah, and 2 big thumbs up.
Yeah, have fun listening to this for 3 months.
Do you know,
that'd be the one.
I have thought about ripping some episodes onto CD and then dropping them on buses and just leaving them there. Like
that's like old school punk rock shit.
Yeah,
I like it.
Look, proper underground stuff.
Yes, right on.
We've just listened to me written on it. Very Alice in Wonderland.
I like it. I don't know if it's going to work, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the internet's going to be your friend there. But you might get like a weird... Well, imagine if somebody sees you drop it off, right? So take yourself through this scenario. You get on a bus. What do you guys call them over there?
A bus.
Fair enough. As if I'm talking to another fucking planet.
Yeah. Would you like to speak to me slowly?
Do you have 2 eyes? So you get on a bus, you drop a CD. Then you're like 2 weeks later, You get back on your bus to go do whatever you're doing, and then this guy says, "Hey, I picked up your CD, brother, and I just want to know, like, can I jack you off?"
Fucking hell, running the other direction,
right,
man.
Now, but that's his bus. You're fucked. You can never use that bus again because he saw you drop it off, and now he wants to jack you off. So that's my fear of this is going to be happening. If somebody literally sees you drop that thing off and they fall in love with your beautiful King's English, they're going to, well, I guess it's not much of a novelty over there. But for sure, if you dropped on a bus over here, you'd be screwed. There'd be people chasing you around, want to talk to you, and it'd just be too weird. So you might stick with the internet unless you can surreptitiously place them in locations where somebody won't notice.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be on a bus I never, ever intend to get back on.
Throw it on through the window?
Yeah, through the windows. Yeah. Lands in some weird person's lap and like, oh, I might actually listen to this.
Nice.
Yeah. If you found a CD and it said, play me on it, would you listen to it?
100%.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, I could. I can't. I see. I suck because I would fall for that every time. Right. I just can't. I'm too much of a voyeur. I would have to. It's really hard for me not to pause while walking by like my neighbor's doors, like in old places I would live, especially if I heard raised voices. Mm-hmm. Is that weird? I should have been like in the CIA or something. But to just stop and be like, oh, damn, sounds like Paula is mad as fuck. And I just listen just for a second, but not enough to be super creepy, just enough to sort of titillate myself and then go home and imagine how the rest of the night played out for Paula. Right? That was me. So
you're not that dude that would walk past slowly, hear a row going on, and okay, I might just walk around this block again and try and find out what's going on next time round.
I might, depending on how compelling the life sounded. If it was simply just, Martha, you burned the pasta, like I can't deal with that. I don't want to listen to that. But if it was something a little more compelling, I might drop my keys or tie my shoe. That's definitely a possibility.
All the classics. All the classics.
Yeah. So I got to ask, you were really pumped for Suicide Squad, right?
I was, yeah.
So thumbs up or thumbs down? If I had to give you, and don't overthink it, just think thumbs up or thumbs down.
Thumbs down for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that movie?
Go on.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because the critics lambasted it. I thought it was going to be the worst movie of all time.
Right. Okay. When did you see it?
I saw it in the theater. Yep.
Immediately or after a couple of weeks?
Probably after 7 to 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So there was already the critics' consensus, they're coming out early anyway, but I saw it and I was like, wow, it's completely preposterous from a story standpoint, right? These people who have like baseball bats and shit are fighting like these deities, and I just didn't know how they're going to manage that. Mm-hmm. Like, how can you, like, this seems like the wrong team for this mission, right? Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you don't send Daredevil after, I don't know, Thanos. That's just not the right matchup. You send somebody like Thor. That you know what I mean? I'm talking Marvel here, but I don't know DC very well. But it seemed like they were really overmatched. But I liked some of the shenanigans, but there wasn't much to it. So overall, it's a thumbs down movie. But I will say this. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be, and I didn't leave there thinking I got ripped off. How about you?
I saw it in the cinema or the theater. I came away thinking, that was all right. I wasn't expecting too much. I was looking forward to it, but I'd heard a couple of reviews, and I came away not hating it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was very messy. I thought the editing was all over the place. It was like the person editing it had like speed one day, coke the next day, uppers and downers all over the place, and just didn't really get a feel of it. And he was just cutting pieces out willy-nilly. And so that was distracting. especially the music on it as well. It was a bit of a mess.
Sure,
but I came away thinking, at its core, it's a bit of fun. And then I tried to watch it again. I couldn't make it all the way through. Really couldn't. So yeah, I wasn't impressed with it at all.
Yeah, it's funny. I bet if I tried to watch it again, I would struggle because the original spectacle of it all, that and Harlequin, I'm not going to lie, like she was distracting enough to get me through. In fact, if really want to be honest with myself, if she's not in the movie, I'm probably not even watching it.
Right.
That's messed up.
No,
sorry.
I wouldn't say that. No, I thought she was good.
Yeah.
She was probably one of the better things of the movie. Jared Leto. He
was in it.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Apparently he was. Not as much as he wanted to be, I guess. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was disappointing. Not for the fact that he was playing the Joker or anything. It just didn't work. It didn't work for me. But I've got to give him some balls for trying it. I've got no problems in him trying it, and I'm well up for seeing what he does with it. But this time around, didn't really work for me.
You know, it's weird because I think about, I have such mixed feelings on things like reboots, but I'm very much a hypocrite, and I'm very much, I say conceptually the reboot bothers me, but then I will enjoy reboots. So I'm part of the problem, right? I'm part of the reason they keep doing them, because I keep putting my fucking ass in the seat and saying, here, take my money, you greedy bastards.
Yeah, but that's all that's turning up in the movie theaters.
Yeah, it's getting bad. They don't want to risk any money to try to capture an audience. They just want to tap an existing demographic, and it's just it becomes a return on it's ROI. They just return on their investment, and then some. But like the Battlestar Galactica reimagined TV show, that's a remake. But I mean, we're talking 25 years later. So for me, and I know everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people I say this to, they all say the same thing. They go, you can't compare Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight. Okay, you can't compare that to like Jared Leto's Joker. It's like a different imagining, and like you just have to wrap your head around that. And I say, no, Mr. Hipster, I refuse, because it's not 25 years ago. It's like 9 years ago. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's such a fast turnaround to me that I'm trying to watch Leto and I'm just wanting Heath Ledger. And I know that's my problem. That's not fair to Leto, but I'm just so in love with Heath Ledger's portrayal of him, and I feel like it's just too soon for me to get away from it to appreciate Leto's. And maybe in 10 years I will. I don't know.
Because where we're getting older, time seems to be flashing by quicker, and so these things come around even quicker.
Sure.
And maybe 10 years wouldn't be enough to distance yourself from them. But maybe people coming into it, and it younger children coming into like Batman and the Suicide Squad, they might be able to grasp on that is their Joker. And
that's true.
That would work. But for us oldies watching it, go, well, hang on, I remember still going to the cinema and seeing Heath Ledger doing that, and he was the man doing it then.
He sent me into a tilt-a-whirl. I was fucked after watching. I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that. And I obsessed about it for a good 6 months. And I was writing ludicrous Facebook posts back when I would write self-indulgent asshole, look how smart I am Facebook posts, right? that one of those people before you grow up, which is why it's hard for me to hate those people.
Yeah.
But I was like, I said like a really bad joke. Like, it's pretty convenient that they were able to get the Joker to play the Joker, because there was no semblance of Heath Ledger there. And that's what was so impressive about that role to me. And then with Suicide Squad, it's just a whole different feel. It's just got very much a popcorn feel, whereas the Nolan films just do not. They're very dark, which is my preferred hero anyway. I like the Daredevils and the Wolverines, although Wolverine kind of got silly as the movies went on, but I like that sort of loner, dark. I like Batman for that reason, the Nolan Batman or Daredevil, or like those are the only three I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Punisher, I guess, but
now Suicide Squad it was too glitter covered, and for me, glitter is fucking annoying. I've got a daughter, and she'll make stuff out of glitter. And that fucking thing, that stuff just ends up, it's like Fallout. It's always there.
You came home after seeing that, you're like, put the fucking glitter away. Jeez, Dad.
Startled her, and it all went up in the air, and oh my God, there was tears and crying. It was in my eyes. And, oh God.
Architect of your own demise.
Yeah, too right, yeah. Okay.
So train spotting. Jesus Christ, am I jumping the gun? Not train spotting. What's the other one we're talking about? The Boy. What did you think about that?
The Boy.
Was it called The Boy or just Boy? I don't know. You're probably right.
Let's go with The Boy.
All right. I'm going to trust you.
That wasn't too bad, actually. I quite enjoyed that.
Me too. And it got terrible ratings. Terrible.
But I'll tell you, I don't think it deserved them at all.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of times I'm pretty much in line with like a Rotten Tomatoes score. I give critics shit all the time, which is me just trying to be anti-establishmentarianism person. Where the reality is I often find myself agreeing with a lot of Rotten Tomato numbers. Except Conjuring, I didn't. And I didn't for Suicide Squad either. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like 15% bad. That's like Highlander 2 territory. Right? But The Conjuring was low, last I recall. And I was just like, yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. I liked the whole concept. Nothing supernatural about it. And Lauren Cohen, that's her name, right? She was pretty good.
Yeah, it was all set over in England as well, wasn't it? So
yeah,
you
like
have that. You have that American traveling over to England, and everyone's very, very posh, and everyone talks like this, because that is how we talk. Everyone does. It's just that's what happens.
I often have to tell you to stop harumphing, right? When you're like, I often have to say, don't do that because it's very condescending.
Yeah, well, that's just everyone's moustache getting down their throat, and we have to clear our throats out. Even the
powdered
ladies.
Wigs and crumpets and whatnot.
Crumpets, man. You need some crumpets. I'll do a food drop for you and just drop some crumpets and Marmite. Don't put them together. That's wrong.
All right, I will adhere to this rule you set forth.
Okay, yeah,
but I did like that. I like that she's in another country, because there is something, even though it's not like, I mean, it's another country, but there's a lot of cultural similarities, right? I think that's pretty obvious. But she's really far from home. She's in another place. She doesn't know what's going on. She has no idea. So she's got a little bit of the fish out of the water. I mean, and that's what was kind of neat about it. What did you think about the decision to use England and the decision to use, this property and these people and?
Well, immediately, if you put like an American film and it's set in England, the creepy stakes go up.
Sure.
And then if it's set in a mansion in England, the creepy stakes go up again. And then you put a fucking doll in that.
Right.
You're asking for a creepy pasta territory.
Right. But see, I feel like that would be the perception of an American viewer. Like, do you feel the creepy factor yourself living over there? Right. Does it, in other words, I don't know what's an example of something that would, terrify, like what would creep the imagination of an Englishman? Like if something in America that would be weird, that's not normal to where you're at. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder what the equivalency would be for you.
Okay, well, for me at the moment, it's Slender Man. That stuff just scares the Jesus out of me.
It's terrifying. That's awesome. But there's no locale. Like the way you described it is such a great point. The setting adds a creepy factor to the average American viewer, which is it's in England. Ooh, old terrors, right? Oh, that's an old country.
Yeah.
And then it's a mansion. Oh, and then it's really creepy, rich, posh people with a dull. Oh, English people are weird. Right?
It's history. It's history as well. You add history to a film or to a concept, and it naturally grabs that creepiness to it. Anything from, I don't know, like a Bible chapter, or if you put that into a monologue of someone saying something on TV, it naturally adds weight to it for me.
Sure. Gotcha. Any specific setting? Like a foreign setting to you? What's a foreign setting to you that is creepy? Not just like the character as in Slender Man, but is it like, I don't know, like a weird Baptist church in the South? Is it like a
yeah, that'd be weird. Abandoned hospitals as well. Fuck that. Fuck that noise.
That's good. Awesome. anything not native to England, but maybe to another country that you think would be weird and scary?
Like
in other words, the foreignness of it. Would there be something like that would be spooky to you? Like,
yeah, I suppose castles and shit like that. I suppose, or pyramids and
pyramids. Yep. Okay, I got you.
But then you're talking real ancient shit.
Ancient terror, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I try to like. You have to remember that, like, when you live in the U.S., it's like, wow, look at this thing. It's 175 years old. And then when you live in Egypt, you're like, that is 5,000 years. It's so foreign conceptually that you can't even wrap your head around how ancient that is. It's crazy. But yeah, ancient terrors. I like that. That's cool.
We're in America. Well, okay, from my point of view, in America, people look at things and go, wow, that's 150 years old. It's so old. Let's knock it down and put a new hospital there. Brilliant.
It's fucking true. It's so true.
But over here, that just doesn't happen. That doesn't fly at all.
Yeah, you guys preserve your history.
Yeah, that's why we can't drive around London. It's a fucking shithole. That's why.
Right. It's funny that's an experience I can relate to in Massachusetts, because in Massachusetts, in and or around Boston, it's older, as old goes, and it was like, oh, let's make these really cool like roads for people with horses and shit, and then they suddenly invent a car, and they're like, well, I guess we'll make do with these shitty fucking roads. Whereas if you go to someplace newer-ish, like I lived in Florida as well, and it's completely different. It's their streets and avenues are like a grid. They're like perfect, and you can go where you need to go, right? In Massachusetts, the joke is always you can't get there from here. Like I can see the building, I could throw a rock at the building, but I could take fucking 20 side streets to get there because the infrastructure for roads up here is terrible. Add snow and just stay home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would imagine it's similar up or over where you are, I guess I should say.
Yeah. London is just so it's got not delusions of grandeur, but it's just so stuck in its ways that then there's too many buildings that have got too much history that people want to knock it down. And driving around London, it's fucking scary, man. It is real scary, because if you cross a line that you're not supposed to cross, bang, you got a fine. You're really screwed. Yeah.
What are they pulling you right over? Are they just patrolling heavily?
Oh no, they don't pull you. You just get it through the post.
That's so British.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so brilliant.
You don't get told off for your thing. You just get a fine for it. You cross over into a bus lane, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, we won't tell you your misdemeanor. We won't help you in future. We'll just tell you 2 weeks later when you've done it 4 times, and then you're screwed.
Message for you, sir.
Yeah.
You fucking it's like a fucking. Oh, that's so good.
By the way, have you got any dead people that you'd like me to carry on my cart?
Yes. There you go. So The Boy, I liked it. You liked it. That's good to know.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
It was enjoyable. I liked it. And then the third one I was curious about. I already forgot.
Rogue One.
Thank you. Yeah, we made fun of how long my podcast was about that, so I'm sure you know how I feel about it. But,
that's right. It's still going in the background.
Well, it'll be done next time we get together. You'll maybe have finished it by then.
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Well, I don't know.
Right. So what do you got? You like it?
I came out of the cinema going, that's as good as a Star Wars movie can be at the moment. Nice. I was not a fan of The Force Awakens, and I'm still not a fan, and I flipping hate that film. I really do, and I can't see my thoughts changing on that, which is disappointing. But Rogue One, it's all about the climax, that thing.
Yeah, the ending's really good.
But I'm worried on repeat viewings that the first two acts aren't going to live up to it, but you might flick through everything to get to that third act.
Gotcha. So did you find your attention strong throughout? Were you compelled the whole time? I guess so, because you're saying you walked out thinking that's as good as they get.
Yeah, I was pumping the air.
Awesome.
Like a good British boy would do. But yeah, it held my attention all the way through. I liked it. There was a little dip in the middle, and there was bits that just weren't fully formed, which I'm assuming will be sorted out in the director's cut or whatever cut they want to bring out when it goes to sale. But
right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I can see myself watching it again and again, definitely. And it's up there. It's definitely up there with the better of the films that they've got. So,
nice.
Yeah, I was happy with that. It's got me more on side for watching episode 8, which I'm sure we'll talk about very, very soon.
I'm sure we will.
It's as good as a Star Wars movie can be at the moment.
Awesome.
What about yourself?
Well, once you get through my 4-hour podcast, you'll know. It's hard for me not to like Star Wars movies that aren't prequels. And I don't mean that because it's technically kind of prequelish. The Rogue One, it leads up to, well, it's less a prequel. It just leads up to A New Hope. But I really enjoyed it. I didn't love it as much as Josh did, one of our hosts. He fucking loved it. I liked it more than Matthew did, though, our other host. He didn't like it as much. I think I gave it a B+. Matt gave it like a C something, and Josh gave it, I believe, a straight A, maybe an A+. So I was sort of in the middle of the two of them. Some of Matt's gripes I shared, and some of the things that were great that Josh liked, I liked as well. Specifically, what I enjoyed about the movie was I liked the whole idea of this resistance and how the gloves came off almost immediately in terms of that this was going to be a different type of story. I personally was a little thrown off by the opening, and that was my own expectations to go in and watch the Star Wars. Star Wars has sort of become almost like this modern mythology. It's like Gilgamesh. But I wanted it to go a certain way, and when it didn't, like a spoiled brat, it sort of annoyed me. Which was they didn't start with the scrolling text, they didn't start with the big orchestral thing, they didn't play the song, and I was immediately a little off balance, and I was like that for many minutes. And then when I kind of got over that, I was starting to get into the movie again, and then the ending happened, which I thought was great. It has probably the best combat in any of the films. The idea to have a brightly lit tropical fighting theater as it is, a place to fight, was great. I love the night raid by the X-Wings. There's a lot of memorable moments in those movies, and I felt like, to me, though, the characters, there was something missing, and I just can't put my finger on it, which is why I didn't completely and utterly love it. And conversely, and this is why movies are weird, because objectively, I feel like I could say that it's better than Force Awakens, but subjectively, there was something different about Force Awakens. I just don't know why it sat with me different. Isn't that weird? Because objectively, I could probably look on paper and go, Rogue One is a better movie. But subjectively, I still find myself drawn towards The Force Awakens, and maybe there's something in the Jedi mythos there that I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's the start of a trilogy, and you've got some more excitement to come, and
sure,
it's just sowing the seeds of what is going to be coming later on. Whereas Rogue One was in, out, thank you very much, no sequels or prequels. Right,
and I think that's, and it's funny now that I'm thinking out loud about this and talking to you about it. Maybe that's part of my problem is that it was, whatever it was going to do was not going to affect the story anymore, because the story has already been done, which is sort of my problem with prequels in general. When you decide to set them against the existing storyline, the storyline is going to unfold the way it's always unfolded, unless you're going to change them, which we know you're not. So there's there's a sort of a lack of mystery there, lack of mystique as to what the future holds. It ends in that moment. Whereas the newer films, they always leave you going, oh man, wow, what does this mean? How is this going to play out? And though me asking those questions doesn't necessarily mean that is the definition of a good objective film, but for some reason, subjectively, it makes me go, damn, I'm really excited about this. I like the lightsaber stuff. I liked Rey a lot. I thought she was a strong character. But it's hard. It's hard for me to say why. There's a lot leading up to going to watch The Force Awakens, which is going to be part of the problem which Star Wars might face, which is a little bit of what we're seeing in the superhero world, which could be there's a lot of content. Oh, I just saw a Star Wars movie last year. Cool, I'm going to go see another one, and then I'm going to see another one the following year. Yeah. Versus how long did you wait for Force Awakens? So, which conversely is why a lot of people were upset because they had such high expectations. Whereas I had lower expectations for Rogue One and higher expectations for The Force Awakens, and I thought The Force Awakens was good despite being derivative as fuck. Which is, just weird.
Yeah,
I know you hated it. I know we talked about that.
Yeah, man. I don't want to tread over old ground again on The Force Awakens, so I won't. But one thing I felt that Rogue One did do, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's inevitable that people will know what happens anyway. But would it make sense if I turned around and said the order that they removed people was the correct order to do it in?
Yes.
I thought they got that right.
Oh, we got to be careful with spoilers, you're saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's as deep as I can go without really spoiling it. But I feel...
That was very surprising, and that was... I feel like that tone was set early, yet the way they decided to conclude the third act, or just run the entire third act, was at times literally jaw-dropping. My mouth opened. I said, wow, that was unexpected. And you don't get to say that all the time in Star Wars, especially as it relates to the gripes between Rogue One and Force Awakens, which is two very distinct camps. I find that people who liked Rogue One didn't like Force Awakens and vice versa. Well, I guess that's not necessarily true. But there is an element of unpredictability to Rogue One, which is very refreshing.
Yeah. Well, why don't we drop into episode 8
Let's
now
do it.
then? Yeah? Should we do that?
Let's do it.
Because we haven't got anything on it yet. And
no.
This is what intrigued me about The Force Awakens, that we didn't have anything on it for the longest time. We had some stills. We had some teaser trailers, which everyone just spaffed their load over, me included. And then we had some other trailers come out, and it was exciting. It looked great. It looked a modern Star Wars thing, but you had no seed of what the hell was going to go or happen. And that was the biggest downfall for me, where it was, oh, this is why you haven't told us what's going on, because we already know. Damn.
Sure.
And that ruined it for me. So, are you expecting the same sort of thing from episode 8?
I'm expecting to know less about what's going to happen, but because we have an episode 7, we can sort of project an idea of the story through line.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. When 7 was coming out, there was no information other than it was set after, and that's all I knew. And they kept tight-lipped about it. But now that you've already established sort of the first third of your trilogy, we can now make some projections and speculations as to what might happen or what our expectations are. Now, sometimes I have to be careful with expectation, because a lot of times when you have expectations, when things don't happen, then you tend to get upset just on principle, which could be a hint of arrogance. When you go to watch a movie, you expect a certain thing, it goes a different way, and you don't like it, and that could be sometimes linked to the arrogance of saying, oh, they should have went this way. I'm not saying that's always the case, but I feel like with The Last Jedi, you're going to get some more information. I think you're going to unravel the scrolls a little bit of the origins of some of these things. Of course, the heritage of Rey. More, of course, about what's his name there? Good God, Kylo Ren.
Yep.
I think you're going to get more about Luke Skywalker and what he did. Although I don't think they're going to make it about him. I think they're being very clever to not do this, to not make it about these old characters. Although Han Solo had kind of a huge role in the last movie.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So I have some ideas as to what might happen, but I am anticipating it. And since that's sort of what we're talking about here tonight, I'm looking forward to episode 8. I still am. I'm not jaded yet to Star Wars movies coming out every year. I'm sure in 3 or 4 years I might be like, here we fucking go again. Right? Which is unfortunate, but I guess I'll just ride the rails until that time.
Yeah, yeah. What about the tone of the movie? What are you expecting from that? Is it going to be lighter? Is it going to be darker? I suspect. I think I know what you're going to say on this.
I think it's gonna if the original trilogy is any indication as to what they're gonna do with this trilogy, which may sound like a bit of a risky statement, but based on how derivative The Force Awakens was, I'm guessing that The Last Jedi, you can't have a title called The Last Jedi and it's going to be this uplifting, hurrah, hooray, we've started a new temple, right? We got the younglings back. Nobody's going to chop their heads off. It's going to be fun. I have a feeling The Last Jedi, and I know there's a lot of semantic arguments going around online. Things like, The Last Jedi, that could be plural, Dean. Jedi is plural. It could just mean, but I have a feeling they're going to bump off my man, Luke Skywalker, which is unfortunate. I have a feeling he's going to die. The Last Jedi is going to be Rey. And then maybe they'll kill Chewbacca on the third one. I don't fucking know. I feel like they're definitely passing the torch, both metaphorically and sort of literally, not really, because there's no torch, but you know what I'm saying. They're sort of murdering these old characters to get these new characters to start this new generation of Star Wars, because you can't just keep watching the old one over and over again. Even a curmudgeon like myself understands why, if you want to keep the franchise alive.
Yeah, you need to reboot it every now and again, don't you? Or just bring fresh blood into it, so
sure. I'm guessing darker.
Take over.
That was my long-winded answer. Sorry.
I think I'm with you. It is going to be darker because people like myself were a bit disappointed. There needs to be a tonal shift in it, just to make it interesting. But
here's another reason I think that Rian Johnson, right?
Yeah,
Rian Johnson is directing it, and I think he did the story treatment as well. But or did he write the screenplay? He did something like that. And he, of course, directed some Breaking Bad episodes. He directed Looper, which, of course, we covered. And he directed Brick, which is a movie I really like. Looper and Brick, he's a big Joseph Gordon-Levitt fan, by the way, I guess.
Yeah.
Both Looper and Brick have some dark tone to them, for sure. And I'm wondering if Rian Johnson's eye is going to... And, of course, Breaking Bad goes without saying. It's a very dark show. I'm assuming his eye is going to lend itself to this second installment of this new group of stories. And to give it, first of all, to make the letters red. And I know we're reading into it, but we're Star Wars fans. It's what we do. But to make the letters red means something, right? There's an implicit darkness in the title.
Yeah,
and there's an implicit darkness in making red typeface when you make this movie. And then you bring this guy on who's renowned for doing dark, and I think you're going to get dark.
Yeah, I think he's got one of the easiest jobs because he doesn't have to start the franchise off again, and he doesn't have to finish it.
Yeah, great point.
He just babysits it in the middle, makes it dark. he could really go quite bad and have a massive cull and sit there and go, well, do you know what? I don't have to wrap it up. Let someone else do that. But yeah, as long as everyone enjoyed it and thinks mine's the best, brilliant.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, because Colin Trevorrow is doing the third one.
Right.
Mr. Jurassic World. Oof.
I
Oof.
That works in my house, that film now. Because we've seen it a couple of times, the kids like it. So
I get it. I get that.
yeah, it is a family-friendly movie. We can all sit down and just enjoy. So
Yeah, Jurassic Park's always been that way.
yeah.
But he is doing, he being Ryan Johnson, is doing the story treatment, though, for episode 9. So he's part of it. He's part of it. He's not writing the screenplay. But interesting, right?
Yeah, but isn't that like, when you was a kid and you had a folded piece of paper and your friend would draw the head of the monster, but then fold it over so you couldn't see it. And then someone would draw the body, and then you just leave these 2 little tails so you can draw the feet later on. That's all he's done. He's drawing the body. It could be an absolute mess, but he's drawing the little tails so you can finish on the feet.
What's the Kevin Smith film where he's like, you don't draw, you trace. You're a tracer. You don't actually draw anything. You trace. You're an inker or something like that. That's what it reminds me of. I just saw a potential spoiler by looking at the credits for episode 9. So I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah. It's a rumored credit. So if you want to spoil it, go to Star Wars Episode 9 and look at the credits. I'm not going to do that to your listeners, though, because they might not want that spoiler.
No. Stay well clear of that. Unless you want the heat brought down on you.
I don't want the heat. No. I don't want that heat.
Okay. So in wrap up of episodes 8, are you looking forward to it?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
I'm a sucker.
Will you be going opening night, though?
I haven't gone to an opening night movie in many, many years. I usually go within a few days. I don't know if I'm going to. We'll see how well the hype machine over here gets me fired up and if it's going to inspire me to go late like that. If it does, it would definitely have to be on a day where I'm not working the next day because I need my baby sleep. I'm a big puss if I don't get my proper sleep. So as I talk to a man who's now up at 4 a.m. his time.
Yeah. Man.
So yeah, well, you're made of harder stuff. I'm afraid. So I don't know. I might. I'm not. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm not.
How about yourself?
No. I did that with The Force Awakens. And I'm glad I did it with The Force Awakens just to avoid the spoilers because there's always that dick that walks straight out and straight onto his Instagram or onto his Facebook and just drops it for everyone. And I'm glad I missed that. So that was good. But I didn't go opening night for Rogue One and I sat there for maybe a week or so and just let it tick over in my brain. Shall I go? Shall I not go? And I went and I enjoyed it. So I think this time round, I'm just going to jump off the internet and just go at my leisure whenever I want. Maybe a week or so down the line, get a couple of reviews, get a feel for it, find out how the anticipation has worked on this film, and then I might go and see it.
I like it. I like your style. So is Star Wars in trouble with you? Have they misbehaved? Are they currently in timeout, or what's the British equivalent of timeout over there?
I think it is timeout, yeah. Naughty step, maybe.
Ooh, I like that. That's better. Say that again.
The naughty step.
Nice.
I shall sit you on the naughty step, and you will not come off there until you've learnt your lesson.
Perfect.
Yeah. They have to go some to really impress me now. Really have to in this story. So I'm not holding my breath. I'm going in there ready for a generic Star Wars movie. I'm going to see certain things as you expect to see in Star Wars movies. I will see spaceships. I will see explosions, and I will see lightsabers. And I might see the makings of a love story at some point. I do not know, but I already know what I'm going to get. It just depends on the skin that they put on that. So I will go to it, just not opening night.
Gotcha. Fair enough. I probably won't go opening night either unless I decide to surprise myself and go opening night. So I mean, I guess I would call Star Wars Episode 8 is something I'm probably more excited about than you are, So why don't you pick your next one that you want to get to? Something you're really looking forward to seeing this year.
Oh, really looking forward to. Oh, bloody hell.
Am I putting pressure on you?
No,
then you can
no.
go in whatever order you'd like, sir.
No, okay. We've only got 12 minutes until we drop off, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with Kong Skull Island. It's not one that I'm not
nice.
I'm not really desperate to see it, but it's got twinges for me. It's starting to build up for me now on this.
All right.
The problem I have is Samuel L. Jackson turns up again, and he's probably going to be playing Samuel L. Jackson again. But John Goodman in there, yeah, man, I'm well up for that. 10 Cloverfield Lane was fucking good, man. I love that.
He's awesome in that.
And so yeah, I'm
Kong Island.
Yeah, Kong Skull Island.
Skull Island.
Yeah, it's the build up to. Well, they're going to be making a Godzilla movie after this, aren't they? Straight after. And that's why Kong is so fucking big. He's so huge.
They made him big. Oh, see, because scale-wise, Japan's like, our guy's bigger, right? Wasn't Godzilla always massive compared to King Kong? And then to get him to fight, they had to make them literally like the same size. Otherwise, it's just no contest because Godzilla just eats him in one bite.
Yeah,
right.
I think so. And also the suits, they just come in one size. They get two guys jumping in them, and they just square fight with them around the city made out of cardboard. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm going to be very disappointed. But this, it could be good. I saw the last King Kong. That was not good. There was some good elements in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, there was some really good elements.
Felt like it was a marathon to me.
Yeah.
So Kong Skull Island. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Why would they not name a King Kong movie simply Kong, just like this movie has decided to do? Kong just sounds perfect to me. It just, I'll tell you, the film cover looks great. Him standing, the sun behind him. It's a really cool poster.
Yeah, the big silhouette. Yeah.
Yep.
Why wouldn't they? I think because they've got an eye on the Godzilla movie. They got one eye on that already.
Yeah, I like it. I'll tell you what. So let me ask you this: are you a monster movie guy?
Yeah, I suppose I would be.
Your youth, Mothra and Godzilla and all that stuff.
I enjoyed them when they were on TV. I never went to the cinema and saw that sort of stuff, but I feel there's an element of fun from my childhood that was there. And yeah, monsters always do it for me. I'm intrigued on people's eye on design on monsters, and gotcha. from Alien down to The Thing, and that passes down. But then you get a different kind of monster that's set in the real world, like Kong. And there's okay, well, how the fuck didn't they see this thing years ago? Why didn't they see this waving at a satellite at some point? I just don't get that. But this has got me intrigued. Running through bones in some of the trailers that we have, and you just think, okay, there's some awesome. There's like a water buffalo scene where someone's just walking past a water buffalo, but it's so big and so old, it's got moss growing off of it, and it's got weed growing off of it, and you think, I like that. That has got a nice texture to it. So I'm hopeful for it.
Whether I'm popping on a trailer right now as you speak.
Yeah, it's
just so I can see. I don't think I haven't watched it yet.
I think when I first saw the Kong trailer, I wasn't impressed. I was just, do you know what? Don't care. But I'm seeing, I keep going back to it. I don't know why. It keeps drawing me back into it. And yeah, I could dig it. It might be, I don't know what it's going to be rated, but it could be a good film to go with the kids and enjoy them enjoying it as well. So
Sure.
Yeah. What about yourself? Have you seen many trailers for this or anything?
I haven't seen any, to be honest with you. I have one on in the background right now as you speak. And do you know anything about it whatsoever other than the tease? or is it just these guys who get? I mean, it's got a great cast.
It has got a good cast. I don't know anything about it. Right. This is my idea of what's going to happen. They're going to rock up to Skull Island. Their shit's going to go down. There's going to be some fireballs, and then the last shot is probably going to be Kong walking into the sea, and you think, oh, okay, that's where the Godzilla thing comes into it. And now, whether it'll be Godzilla fighting him for humans, or whether Kong will be fighting for humans to get rid of Godzilla, I do not know, and that's interesting. But as long as I get two guys in suits grappling each other over a cardboard cutout of a city, then yeah, man, I'm well up for that.
Yeah, there's something very intriguing about King Kong and Godzilla. There's something very classic about it. I am intrigued based on your description of it alone. My fear is it does too much. Like, I almost feel that something movies are missing these days is that less is more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want a monster movie to tease and titillate me. It's funny that we're talking about this now because we just covered Jaws.
Yes.
And a fun fact about that movie is you don't actually see a full body shot of the shark until an hour and 20 in. And there's so much terror there. But I guess Kong Skull Island is not really trying to scare the shit out of you. It's just trying to wow you. I guess, would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're just going for scale.
Scale, sure.
And they tried to do that in the Godzilla movie. And as soon as Godzilla would be on screen, he was off screen. And it was very disappointing. And
so they didn't show him much, you're saying. So they went that route with God. See, I haven't seen the one with Bryan Cranston. He's in it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was a frustrating watch. Not that I want to just see the monster all the time, but there's teasing it and then not finishing you off. Like, where's the happy finish?
Yeah, I got you. In other words, you don't want blue balls when you go see a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I can wrap my head around that. So, that's up there for you, huh?
Yeah,
all right, cool.
I think so. I'm looking forward to the kids going around, turning around to me and going, "Dad, can we go watch that?" Well, yeah, okay, yeah, why not? Why not? Because there are certain films that I look forward to the kids asking me to go see, and there's also, you want to go see that? Oh, I've got to take you to see that. Oh, okay, right. I'll take one for the team. Why not? And
so let me ask you this. You must have a different appreciation for certain movies having children, right? Do you – it has to be – I know because there's this tradition where every Star Wars film that comes out, I take my nephew. And he's about 9, and it's a blast for me, and it makes me enjoy the movie more observing his reactions. So I can imagine as a parent that part of the fun when you go see a movie – you go see a movie like, let's just pretend Kong sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just pretend it's terrible. So you go see Kong, it's terrible, but your kids love it. So thereby you sort of love it in a sense that you go, oh, this is a lot of fun. And then some dickhead like me is like, it was too long. They did this. They did that. I'm a fucking jerk off. I'm going to ruin it for you and your kids. Right? So it must change. It must change your perspective of movies when you go to see them with children, especially your own. Because it definitely does for me, and that's only a small sample of taking my nephew to the movies every once in a while, specifically to see Star Wars.
Yeah, we've already spoken about my 2 examples of that.
Sure.
With The Force Awakens, I took my boy to it, and he came out really enjoying it. He had his little Star Wars moment, and that was brilliant. I walked out going, I don't like it, but if he's happy, then I'm happy.
Right.
And the same with Jurassic World. I wasn't impressed with it first time round, but my daughter can't get enough of that film. It's, can we watch that again? Can we watch that again? And I'm okay, why not?
That's awesome. And they're important, man. It's important to continue. If you want to keep the genre alive and you want to spark people's imaginations, it's good that these films come out. It's awesome, right? The kids... the reality is a lot of the stories we like are remakes from old black and whites, at least the story, right? Or they're reimagined in some level. And it's our generation's movie, and it's important to have that to keep it going, I guess. Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely. Right, okay. We're on the last 2 minutes of what I have on the Mixler at the moment.
Okay. Do you want to kill it and restart it?
Yeah, well, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to grab a drink, and then we're going to come back in around about 5 minutes, if that's all right with you.
Plenty of time.
Okay, cool. Right, so people in the chat room, we are going to go for a break. We'll be about 5 minutes. We're going to have, a little wee break, a little drink break. I'm going to look out the window and it's still going to be fucking dark. And, just gather myself.
Not snowing here anymore, by the way. That's good.
Oh, good. Weather reports as well. Excellent. And so, you guys go grab a break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. People on the podcast and listening to this live, we're going to be back in around about 30 seconds, I suppose. Flip your cassettes over, start side B, and when the jingles start, then turn the page when you need to. So please join us very, very soon, and we'll carry on with our countdown of movies. Hopefully, I think we're going to cane a couple of these movies, just really hit them hard. Why not?
I'm into that.
Okay, right. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes. Thanks for listening.
Punishment.
Welcome back to the Shonky Lab. This is the second part, and hopefully we can get all these films wrapped up within the next hour. I've had a fucking disaster.
Bit of a disaster.
A bit. I logged off with you. I walked out into my hallway and walked into water, and there's all water underfoot. And now I'm panicking. What the hell? Why have it's so unnatural to find water underneath your feet when you're not on a boat. It's like well weird. And it turns out my fish tank decided to remove all the water from itself. The pump dislodged itself and started throwing it over the side.
Oh shit.
And as it goes down, the pump's not moving, and so it's just chucking it over the side, and the fish is watching this glass ceiling coming down towards it going, oh my god. And so, panic station. So I've cleaned up all the water from the floor. So once I'm finished here, I'm getting the mop out and mopping everything.
Did anybody in your house awake?
Yeah, Amanda's awake now. And some of her paperwork has got soaked. Some of the kids' paperwork has got soaked as well. So that's all out on the table at the moment. Oh my god, what a disaster. But then again, if I wasn't recording this with you guys, then I wouldn't have known until the morning.
There you go.
Yeah, so it was meant to be.
That would have been a mess and a dead fish.
Oh, yeah, that would not be good. But
well, you saved the fishy.
Yeah, the fish is fine. So
and lots of water damage. Good Lord.
Oh, dear. Oh, man. Why me? This is one of them moments where it's like, why me, Lord? Why do you hate me? Right, okay. So should we get back on track anyway, now that that's over?
Yes. We should get back on track.
Okay. So
we were just talking about whatchamacallit there. We talked about Kong. Talked about
yeah. What do you want to talk about then? What film has piqued your interest?
Well, there is a particular movie that I'm very interested in called Mute that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's by Duncan Jones.
Yep.
Right, that's David Bowie's kid.
Yeah.
Who, of course, did Moon.
Yeah. And Warcraft as well. Yeah.
Well, let's not. How dare you, sir? Why are you trying to do that to me? Why are you trying to ruin this? He did Moon and Warcraft.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But Mute is a movie that interests me because it's Alexander Skarsgård, who I think is awesome, Justin Theroux, who I also think is awesome, and Paul Rudd's not bad either. Mm-hmm. And of course, Sam Rockwell, right? It wouldn't be Duncan Jones without Sam Rockwell.
Oh yeah, he's got to throw him in at some point,
hasn't he? Here's the tagline. A mute bartender goes up against his city's gangsters in an effort to find out what happened to his missing partner. Now, when you write city's gangsters, it sounds corny. but I have a feeling it might be pretty good. Based on nothing other than the fact that the protagonist is deaf. Now, that's weird to say, but I want to direct your attention to a film called Hush. Did you see this movie?
No, but I'm Googling it right now.
Hush is a 2016 American horror film directed and edited by Mike Flanagan, starring Kate Siegel and written by both. The film co-stars John Gallagher, Michael Trucco. It doesn't all matter. The premise is a young deaf author who lost her hearing after a bout of bacterial meningitis at 13, lives in an isolated house in the woods. Her friend visits her one day, and then her friend gets killed, and that sort of kicks off this weird home invasion type of situation, but the protagonist is deaf. Okay. So there is a lot of weird shit going on in terms of the way that things we take for granted become very much liabilities.
Yeah.
Of course, the inability to hear is huge, especially if you just take it from a straight-up predator-prey situation, which is what you have in that movie. And there's a moment where, in that film Hush, she's sitting there with her laptop, and the guy's at a door, and you can see the guy behind her because it's a glass door, and he starts banging on the door, and he realizes she can't hear. And you see him banging on it, coming to the realization, holy shit, she can't hear this. And it just sends shivers down your spine just thinking about it, because that's very terrifying. Now, it doesn't sound like Mute is a horror film, which is fine, but it sounds like it could be pretty interesting. And if it has a feeling like Moon, or maybe even Source Code, which I still haven't seen, which I know, I hear it's great, and I like Gyllenhaal. Gyllenhaal's in that, right?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And if it's anything like that, it has me intrigued. I'm listing it for pure intrigue value alone.
Okay, yeah, there's not a lot on IMDb at the moment.
Not much for it.
When's it due out? Just says 2017.
December.
Oh, December.
Oh, okay. No. I'm wrong. That's when they last updated the info.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I want to see it. Here we go. Storyline: Berlin, 40 years from today, a roiling city of immigrants where East crashes against West. Ooh, in a science fiction Casablanca. Am I looking? Oh, all right. Holy shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Leo, a mute bartender, has one reason only for living here, and she's disappointed. But when Leo's search takes him deeper into the city's underbelly, an odd pair of American surgeons seem to be the only recurring clue, and Leo can't tell if they can help or who we should fear most. Yeah, man, sounds kind of neat.
Yeah, I
UK
do like...
/Germany, it says. Just release date 2017.
Yeah, I like Duncan Jones, and I like his vision on certain things. Moon, I thought it was all right. It wasn't, for me, it wasn't the greatest. I understood it, and it worked. I just wasn't captivated by it. But it had a look and a feel to it that was really, really sung to me. And
sure.
The same as Source Code, but I really like that story on that as well. And
I got to see that.
Yeah, you need to, man. It is really, really good. It had a feel to it as well. It looks really good. It looks intense as well. Warcraft, I think he was just a person to put on in the director's chair because maybe someone else wouldn't. I don't know.
Maybe that was his payday.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just bought another conservatory with that, shall we say. But yeah, even just the little shots that we got of it on IMDb.
There's a few, right?
Yeah. It looks intriguing. So
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm down with that. It looks like a Blade Runner look to it as well.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
It's just lots of neon. As soon as you put neon in there, you think, oh, maybe Blade Runner. I don't know.
It's funny because I just saw that Duncan Jones was making a film, and I had the synopsis. Well, the teaser synopsis, I didn't even see any images of it until literally just now as we're talking about it. So kind of neat.
Yeah. What did you think of Moon?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It worked for me. I liked the intimate tale. I liked that it was small scale.
Yeah.
I thought that it was a very heartbreaking story. There is, and I think that their Interstellar really borrows from Moon, specifically when McConaughey's watching all the clips of his kids growing up before his eyes because of the time dilation. I felt that way in the I felt like that was sort of derivative from Moon when he's realizing that his clone has been communicating with his family all this time. Remember that? And then he sort of has this awakening. Mm-hmm. That part of it I really liked. I thought it was really creepy. I thought it got into some interesting philosophical questions about identity and in owning yourself, and what if there's another you? How does that work? And they've infiltrated your life. Is that amoral? Is it immoral? Is it perfectly fine because they are in fact a copy of you? So I thought it was very thought-provoking. That's why I liked Moon a lot. Yeah. And it's kind of a tough watch if you're feeling down at all. I mean, there are literal moments where it was heartbreaking to me. Like I was sobbing like a child, specifically on some of that stuff where he realizes what's going on, in that his family and everything he's ever known has essentially been ripped away from him, right? Which is just brutal.
Yeah, it's not one that I would put on myself. If I was flicking through the channels and it happened to be on there and I was in the mood, yeah, maybe would watch it. But
sure,
I don't know. I don't think I'd find myself sticking it on again.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about yourself? What's shooting up here in the next few months that you're interested in?
Okay.
I have a couple of guesses, but I think I know what your number one is going to be.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
I do. Yeah. And we didn't even mention that like we did last time. We sort of saved our big ones for last.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, I will save a biggie for last then, or around that sort of time anyway.
Yeah. We can sort of anticipate it based on how much time we have here, but yeah, I think I know what yours is going to be.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very interesting. Because I've got a number. I've got a couple here.
I wonder what your favorite's going to be. Now, there's no way for me. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to send you my guess without tipping you off, right?
Yeah, we can't put it in an envelope.
But I can email you.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to email you right now, so don't open it.
No, I won't. No.
That way, I don't influence your decision either way.
Yeah.
All right, typing it up.
I haven't even got my emails open, so
all right, perfect.
Don't worry about that.
I hope I'm right.
Well, while you're doing that, I will introduce everyone to Power Rangers.
Oh, no.
Now, it's not one I'm looking forward to, but
right? There's a weird nostalgia here.
I wasn't into the Power Rangers when I was younger. That's the thing. It just intrigued me by the look of it. It looked real gritty, proper gritty.
Right.
As if it's like Power Rangers After Dark.
Right.
They're going to get sexy.
The Pink Ranger fucks the Blue Ranger next week. Yes. That's what I'm waiting for.
Power Ranger Jerk Circle. That's how they summon someone, isn't it? I'm sure it is, yeah.
I think you're right.
But
there's something intriguing about this because it has been a while, right? I mean, we're talking 20 years now. That's safe to say, right?
Oh yeah, easy, yeah,
easily,
like 90s, wasn't it?
Actually, yeah, you're right. It's more than 20 years at this point.
But it's when it was at its height, anyway, definitely. But yeah, this has got a look to it. I know everything nowadays has to be a bit grittier, but it's got that. I don't know. It's got that. What was that cartoon? The G-Man cartoon. Was it G-Man cartoon? Battle of the Planets. It's got that sort of feel to it.
I don't know Battle of the Planets. I'll have to look it up.
Oh man, yeah. I think you'll recognize it. You'll definitely recognize it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has got. When's this due out? This is due out in March. Now,
wow.
I'm not expecting to go. It's got fucking Bryan Cranston in it as well.
I know.
Jeez.
Okay, I know Battle of the Planets. I'm looking at images of it now.
Yeah.
Of course, I remember this. Yeah. Wow. It's just opened a floodgate of memories for me.
I'm guessing you weren't into them.
No, I kind of was actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, in a passing way. There's a lot of this stuff that I was into. This screams of like Voltron and Transor Z and. Oh wait, are you talking Battle of the Planets or Power Rangers?
Power Rangers.
No, I was too old.
Okay.
It came a little too. I was intrigued by the stunt people because I know they appeared in things like Ninja Turtles, and then they were in like martial arts magazines and stuff. That I knew that there were some legitimate martial artists in those suits, and that intrigued me. But Power Rangers came a little too late for me to appreciate. So yeah, I definitely missed it. I was more G.I. Joe, Transformers.
Yeah,
Power Rangers was a little late.
No, I think I was in the same sort of boat, but I think what intrigues me this time, because I kind of like the anime side of things. And
yeah, I like anime too.
I remember coming home from the pub when I first started going to the pub, and anime would be on the TV real late at night, and so you'd end up very, very drunk watching these anime going, fuck man, this is twisting my mind, this is amazing. And then 2 hours later you wake up on the sofa and you don't really know whether that was a dream or whether you'd actually seen something. And it's got that anime feel to it, it's got that heart in it, and I think now is a good time to get a new audience for itself, and to bring it to a new audience. And I don't know, it could be a good fresh start for it. And I'd imagine lots of kids would be just lapping this up. It'll be the first time they're into it. And so, oh my God, Power Rangers is amazing. And then there'll be TV shows and there'll be toys. And it is a good way of selling toys. But it's the poster I'm looking at now, it's all dark and gloomy in the background. But all their suits look really fucking cool. And it could be sexy Power Rangers at some point. I don't know. But
it's possible.
Yeah,
I think we've waited long enough, right?
I think it's if you write enough stories about it, there's bound to be a porn version of it, isn't there? Crying out loud.
It's true.
But yeah, I think there's enough here. Maybe I know I'm going to be regretting this by about May, going fuck off Power Rangers, just go away. I'm sick of you to the high teeth. But it's interesting to me. I don't think I'll go cinema and watch it, but I'm going to keep my eye on it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I did miss Power Rangers. I have a odd feeling of interesting. They're bringing it back purely on the basis that I work with a few guys who are about 7 or 8 years younger than me, and they are like, "Holy shit, Power Rangers coming back!" They're like, "I remember loving that as a kid," and they kind of stopped there, but they're not saying. I can tell by the tone of their voice that there's intrigue there, even though they're not really admitting it. And part of me is intrigued by this, only in that they took a long time for this to happen. It's been a long time. It's not like rebooting Spider-Man 4 times, right? Yeah. In the span of a decade. This has been a long time in waiting. And I'm curious about it. I got to be honest, I doubt I'll get to the theater and see it, but I'm curious, almost academically, as to what kind of rating it's going to get and how it's received. So it will be on my radar. When and if I see it, I am not sure. My interest is sort of academic, though, at this point. Like, interesting. I wonder how that's going to do.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how people's nostalgia kicks in with this.
Sure.
Because with the Star Wars, it kicked in with us. And we have that fuzzy feeling going around us. And now it's like the generation below having their nostalgia trip, and it's interesting to watch how they would develop with it, because what it sounds to me, with your co-workers, they're interested, but they're not saying anything. They're keeping their views hidden until it comes out, and if it is the shit, then yeah, man, they're going to be all over that.
That's funny. You might be right. They're just like, yeah, we're playing it tight to the chest, and then maybe they'll show us something depending on how it's received.
Yeah.
Or if it's good, for that matter.
Yeah, you wait until they start getting Power Ranger boners, then they're like, yeah, man, that was amazing. Yeah. Best film ever. Shut down Hollywood. That's it. We don't need to make any more films.
Nice. Power Rangers. Well, I'm going to give you one of my big ones now.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm dying to see It.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Have you seen any stills from this?
I've seen the poster shot of it.
Okay, pull a couple up and then try to go to sleep tonight after we're done talking.
Okay, hang on a second.
Specifically at Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise.
Yeah, I've seen the full body shot of that, and that shit, cool. Man, that looks good.
There's a lot of like old cars and vehicles. There's a lot of some of the house and stuff. It looks neat. It looks really neat, and I'm intrigued as hell. Mm-hmm. At first, I was a little concerned because it is a massive novel. It's 1,000 pages easily.
Wow!
And they're going to do 2 films, and my guess is they're going to do the way the novel works is. Have you read it?
No, I haven't. No.
So the way the novel works is it starts. It sort of jumps back and forth between these kids growing up in the 50s, and then this horror returning to haunt them 27 some odd years later. Mm-hmm. And some of the parallels that happened when they were kids and how it's happening again to them now. And it's pretty terrifying. It's one of the few books I've read where after reading certain parts, I find myself going, that is creepy. And I start looking around the room. For some reason, books don't always do that to me. There's been a few that have. And it was one of those that did it for me. I also read it when I was very young.
Yeah.
The ending is definitely weird. Stephen King sometimes has weird endings, but it's really well written, and I thought I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to how scary they make it. I'm hopeful for it. I'm very hopeful for it. It has, Finn Wolfhard's in it. He's the kid from Stranger Things. I think there's a couple of those kids.
Yeah.
But Finn for sure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's time. The original movie was terrible. It's such a product of its time, late 80s, early 90s type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not good. Tim Curry plays Pennywise. He was good.
He'll turn up in this new one at some point.
I got to be honest, I don't think he will, and only because I think he's had a pretty bad go health-wise lately.
Ah, okay.
In fact, I think Tim Curry is in a wheelchair from a very bad stroke.
Oh, shit.
It's really sad to think about. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I might be talking out of school here, but I bet if you Google Tim Curry stroke, you'll find that out. So I don't, unless they have him, as if he can't be in a movie because he's in a wheelchair. What the fuck's wrong with him? Sorry, man, you can't get right. You can't be in my movie. No, but not as any type of reprisal role, unless they just had him as maybe a cameo.
Yeah, because it was a mini TV series. It was, how many episodes was it? It was quite a few, wasn't it?
I think it might have been 4.
Looking through it.
It was...
It was only 2, I think.
Only 2, was it?
Yeah, I think it was only 2.
Okay. The total runtime was what? Do we know? 192 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy. 3.5 hours, or 3 hours, 12 minutes.
So this will probably be over 2 hours each. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they get more. I mean, there's so much content. That's part of the problem with this. I feel like it could be a miniseries, like a limited miniseries on Showtime or HBO or something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of storylines that weren't used from the book.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they'll initialize that as well this time round.
Yeah. Or at least give care to the ones you choose because you're going to take the time this time around. Mm. But I am looking forward to it. I really want to see this movie. And here is something really funny. Do you want to hear something funny?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm getting married September 9th after a very long engagement. And Jessica and I want to go see this movie, and it comes out the day before we get married, which is hilarious. So it's not like we're going to be trying to plan anything for the next day. And we still think we're going to slip away to go see this, which is hilarious because we've sort of made this pact, like no matter what, we want to go the day before we get married to watch this movie. So I'm hoping that's the case, and I'm looking forward to seeing it for sure.
Oh, dear. Do clowns do it for you or scare you or have that creepy vibe?
When it came out, when the novel came out, I believe in the late 80s. I could be mistaken there. But... It novel, I'm looking it up right now. It came out in 86. That was not a thing yet, but it kind of became a thing in the 80s where that's always been a bit of an urban legend, at least where I was. And it was, oh, there's a van driving around. It's trying to lure kids into the van with balloons and clowns. Watch out. I seem to remember this being a thing. And it might not have ever been a thing. It might be just one of those weird phenomenons that never actually existed that I just think did. Or that was perpetuated like an urban legend, right? Yeah. So I do know that clowns over the years have really become saturated in the media as the boogeyman. People don't even look at clowns anymore without thinking that they're creepy and weird. I think clowns have I think they're lost. There's no more clowns are like, oh, cool, it's a fun clown, kids. I feel like clowns in the zeitgeist have always been weird and creepy. So it might be a little overplayed, kind of like creepy kids became overplayed, which is why I was so happy with Boy that there was never actually a creepy kid, right? But I feel like if this movie, because Pennywise is so terrifying, he takes many forms. That's why he's called It. I have a feeling that he will be scary, and clowns will be scary once again instead of this overplayed thing.
Cool.
How about yourself?
Yeah, clowns don't do it for me at all. I'm not really bothered about them. I don't see one and then run the other way.
Right.
And it just doesn't scare me. I think I'm one of them people that look at other people that are scared of clowns and just think they're scared of clowns because other people say that they're scared of clowns. And it's a thing to say.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to my point, right? Yeah. It was a thing that became... I specifically, I think why it worked back in the day when I was a kid was because it's the real definition of horror is the perversion of the good, right? A werewolf is terrifying, but it's supposed to be. It's a large creature with huge teeth and claws. It's going to kill you. You can wrap your head around why in our basest epigenetics that's something that would scare the shit out of us because we were being killed by wolves until we figured out spears and torches, right? So, but a clown is sort of like your mother, or something that I often think about is a relative that you love or care about, a child, your child, for example, enters your room holding a knife, saying weird things. Like that is the true definition of horror to me, which is the perversion of something that you think is good, where your senses reject the reality of what you're witnessing. And I think the idea that clowns are supposed to be this thing of joy, they go to kids' birthday parties, they're fun, hey, boys and girls, they make clown, and then it turns around and it's all fucked up and weird. That is the definition of horror to me. Now, the problem is that it's been really overplayed, just like the creepy kid has been overplayed. You know, it was really creepy in The Exorcist, then it went away, and it came back. So part of me thinks that's the issue. I think they might redeem themselves with Pennywise, however. Yeah,
I think he's a very strong character. It's almost like the zombie genre as well, isn't it? It's just becomes so saturated that it becomes pointless. There's just no need. So
Right. I like that. It's a good point.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm going to move on from one Stephen King thing to another one.
Ooh.
The Dark Tower is supposed to be coming out this year.
Yes.
Now, I have no idea. I've never read any of these books, but it seems it's billed as a sci-fi Western horror.
Yes.
You've got me.
Yes, that's definitely, and what a cast.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey is the Man in Black, which will reveal itself when you watch the movie, and of course Idris Elba, as the gunslinger. You have me right there. That's some good casting, I think, for this story, and I think The Dark Tower is a long time coming. Now, there are many, many books for Dark Tower. They were, I don't even know how many there are.
There are a lot, though. It's like Dune, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it is. And in fact, there's more than there are in Dune.
Really?
I think there's, okay, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Dark Tower books.
Oh, dear.
9.
Don't put Peter Jackson on that, because there'll be like films coming out of his ear holes for that.
I think I'm way off on this whole Dune thing. There's way more Dune books. I don't know what I was thinking. Now, how many of those are actually penned by Frank Herbert is the question. I think he probably did 6 of them.
Didn't his son do a couple?
His son did quite a few. In fact, when I used to work in a bookstore, and back in 2000, and he released House Atreides and House Harkonnen. In both of those books, I actually had, this is a really weird roundabout, both of those books I had on cassette tape because I got this great discount working. It was like 35% off. Mm-hmm. And guess who narrated them?
Oh, we never have a clue. Guess.
Right, you wouldn't have a clue, right? But Tim Curry, how about that?
Oh, bloody hell.
And they were amazing. And you can't get them anymore. In fact, if you buy House Atreides or House Harkonnen now, they're different narrators. But the Dune series has always been good. I don't want to go off on a tangent on that because I could talk to you for hours about it. But yeah, so yes, there are many more Dune novels. I definitely spoke out of school there, but I was accurate in that. I think Frank only maybe wrote 6 or so.
Right, okay.
Whereas Stephen King wrote, I think, about 6 or 8. What did we say? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9. Starting with the Little Sisters of Illyria to the Gunslinger. And then ending with the Dark Tower. So there you have it.
Yeah, I think I'm looking for something new to get into. And
awesome. To read?
Well, I'd like to say yes, but I'm not going to. I would love to read and read more, but it's just something that I don't really get around to. There's always something else to do apart from read.
I know what you mean.
And it's just too easy to watch a movie, isn't it? It's just way too easy. So am I going to read a book for 6 months or wait for a film to come out in 6 months? I'll probably just wait for the film to come out. Yeah, I'm a heathen. Oh, well, there we go.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking for something new to get into, something fresh for myself. And I think this might be it. So it might work, it might not work, but I'm down for it. I will be going to see this in the cinema. Sod it. I've seen very little. I've only seen stills of it at the moment, but yeah, man, I'm there. Why not?
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that one too. 2 Stephen Kings. There you go.
Good stuff. Okay, right, go on. Hit me with another one then.
All right. How are we looking for time?
Oh, we're good at the moment. We're good.
About
half hour left, so
a half hour.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to hit you with. All right. I'm going to hit you with this one. We'll make it quick, but and then I'll hit you with my final one. So I guess I'll do 2 more. Does that work?
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah.
All right. I really. It's funny because we just covered the first one. I'm looking forward to John Wick 2.
Ah, okay.
Man, oh man. So here's my quick John Wick story that your listeners might not know. Mine definitely know. I had not seen John Wick 1 until a few weeks ago when we covered it on the podcast. And I was pleasantly surprised. I'm a closet Keanu lover. He was the perfect age to hit it big at the perfect time in my life.
Yep.
Where I liked him, right? And I've always liked him. He seems like a cool cat, like a Zen master type of guy. He's got an odd life. Odd, and I don't mean that as a pejorative.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. How about that? And the way he threw himself into the John Wick character in the first movie, the way he made a conscious decision to really get trained, both in judo and jiu-jitsu, as well as a lot of firearm training and this pistol technique called central axis relock, which you see him doing. All of his decision to pursue all of these things with expertise made his role in the John Wick film very believable, despite the fact that it's completely and utterly unbelievable.
Right.
It's completely and utterly unbelievable that this man could kill this many people and not be taken down. Obviously, that's the fiction. That's the sort of comic book mythos of the character. However, because of Keanu Reeves' expertise, it is believable in the context and the way they shoot the movie. You believe, holy shit. You find yourself saying, holy shit, so many times. And really delving into that world and being intrigued by this weird, almost underground society that exists that you kind of want to know a little bit more about. So I'm looking forward to John Wick 2. I think the director, Chad Stahelski, Jesus, I know they can only give one directing credit, but him and another guy did it. They were choreographers on Matrix and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they ended up directing a movie. Started as like second unit guys, did choreography, and now they're making movies, which is awesome. Their attention to detail, their care about the precision of how good Keanu Reeves is at convincing you that these stunts are being done by him, which 90-some-odd% of them are, is what makes the film so fascinating to me, because I am a sucker for expertise. I find myself drawn to people who are experts at things and what it took to get them there. I'm not saying Keanu Reeves is an expert, but I am saying that his decision to have care enough for the character, which has a lot of mythos around him. They sell him in the movie as he's going to be this badass. So you hope when the hat drops that he is in fact a badass and not just getting pulled around on wires with lots of CG.
Yeah.
And when he does execute the techniques to convince you he's a badass, the payoff is amazing. I could only imagine that John Wick 2 will continue to deliver on that front. Now, I am a little nervous about John Wick 2, about the bigger, better sequel, as sequels are fond of doing.
Yeah. But
I'm still going to go see John Wick 2 in the movie theater. Soon, by the way. I think it comes out in the next week or two.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. I have to admit, I saw that you were covering it.
I did.
I thought, do you know what? I'll give it a go. And I had it on a list somewhere to watch.
To watch.
Yeah, not some special sort of list. Don't worry about that. And do you know what? I think I hit it at the right time. I was thoroughly entertained by it. And it was, I think Josh said it in the review of it, it carries little weight, if you know.
Sure.
There's little fat on the bone for it. It's all meat and substance, and it just hits you. And I really, something you said about Keanu Reeves really diving into this role and working it. You can tell that he's worked at the close quarters combat.
Sure.
There's something to be said about that. That if you really immerse yourself in that, and not just for the role, but for a love of it as well. And right. I think that really shines through. I think that's what made the Bourne films so entertaining and so popular as well, because Matt Damon seemed to really get into it, and the close quarters stuff, it seemed really almost second nature.
The first Bourne movie especially.
Yeah.
That moment where he's on the park bench in the first Bourne film, and then he just snaps into action. Yeah. You're like, oh, damn, what's going on with this guy? Which I thought was kind of neat.
But yeah, with the John Wick, I love...
You hit it at the right time. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, with John Wick, I think it had certain moves. It just looked... It was fluid enough for me. He was taking guys down. He was putting one in their stomach and then taking them out in the head. And normally Tom Cruise would be just taking them out in the head and, oh, yes, fine. That's the Hollywood hero shot. But he was working at it. He was on a job, and it was hard work, but he was really working it. And it was fun as well. And
awesome.
So yeah, I probably will go to cinema to see this one. I'm surprised at it. It's got a nice ring to it. It's got that. The trailers I've seen for this have got a real good humour to them as well, but not over the top that you think, oh, hang on, this is the sequel, so they have to be funnier, they have to be louder, bigger explosions. It hasn't got that feel to it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't succumb to the studio pressure to probably do all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it seems good. I've watched the trailer a couple of times now, and yeah, man, I'm well up for that. That seems good.
Right on. What you got?
Okay, right. If we're running short time, I'm going to hit 3.
Not for me. That's up to you.
No, that's right. Right. Ghost in the Shell.
Nice. Nice.
Ghost in the Shell. This
Man, I am on a balance beam, and a strong argument for or against will push me off the balance beam because I love the animated film.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I think it's fucking brilliant. Standalone Complex is great. I even like. Was the sequel decent too? I don't remember. But so this is the second sort of animation. I know Power Rangers wasn't animated. But you know what I mean. That sort of Japanese style.
Yeah.
That you're on board with. So tell me about your reason for thinking this is going to do it for you.
Okay. Well, I saw the animation maybe a year or two ago. Okay. Not because I heard of that they're making this. It was just something that intrigued me. I think the Black Dog were covering Akira, and I like the animation. I like anime, but didn't find myself.
That was my next question. You like anime?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I got into Attack on Titan, as some people might know, and I fucking loved that. The film's terrible. Steer clear of them. But watch the anime. Brilliant. I love it.
That's like Cowboy Bebop. Great.
Yeah.
Stay away from the movie. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's just, you're like, what is the story?
Yeah. But this, it's in the trailer, you can see the animation in there. You can see there are certain bits shot for shot or their version of that shot. And
right.
I'm in. It looks beautiful. It looks so good. It's so crisp and clear, and just the balance of the colors that they're using in certain scenes, it just looks fantastic. Scarlett Johansson, yes, thank you very much. But I think it does look good. The characters look good as well, and there's a certain scene in there where a guy is showing all of his teeth and smiling and really looking crazy. I can't remember the character's name, but it just spoke to me, and I'm there, man. I'm first in line for this. I cannot wait to see this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
With the animation, I think I wasn't impressed with the actual story itself, but I think that's because I need to watch it a couple of more times. But I think I'll save it for this film.
There you go.
I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know whether they'll do sequels to this or what. I know there was a big hoo-ha about getting Johansson to do the character. Well, why can't you get a Japanese character? That's fair play. That is a reasonable argument. I've got no problems with that. But the bottom line is they need to sell this to a wider audience. They need to sell this to America. They need to sell this to England. And if you put a Japanese nobody in there, or from our point of view, a nobody.
Right, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so someone who's not in our on our TVs all the time, then maybe it might not get picked up. It might work as well because people like I don't know how to put it, but people like other films from that genre as well, and people like The Raid and other movies with people that we don't know in. But this has a gravitas that needs, or would seem to need, a box office return. So
interesting.
So throwing Johansson in there, I think I've got no problems in that.
It's purely for marketing, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything subversive going on to where they're trying to, destroy Asian culture. I think they're trying to make a shitload of money. I think at the end of the day, that's all it ever comes down to.
Yeah, it is,
It's making a shitload of money for them. I don't think they are taking any moral stances. I think maybe they lick their finger if the wind blows a certain way. Maybe they go that way. But at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar.
Yeah, it's that name on that poster, isn't it? It draws people in.
And she's huge right now. I mean, she's really been crushing it for the last, maybe 10 years. Maybe has it been that long since she's been crushing it? I think it might.
God, yeah, easily. When was hang on, let me just look at her films. Oh bloody hell!
I know she's been doing shit longer, but I'm just saying, I feel like It seems to me like she's getting a lot of attention.
She was in Home Alone 3? Fucking hell. Lost in Translation, 2003. That's when it really kicked off, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, wow, Jesus.
So yeah, I'm psyched for that. Hopefully you are as well, so that's good.
I'm looking forward to it. I definitely want to see it. I will be honest with you, I'm a tiny bit skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Right, okay. What about yourself? What other ones have you got then?
I've got a couple. I also want to ask you. I also want to do a silly game before we go. Which one of these you think will flop, and what one do you think will be like a rising success?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm angry that I'm even going to say this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm really looking forward to, and my listeners are going to scream at me because I'm not going to say Logan, because Logan wasn't really on my radar until recently. Mm-hmm. So it's not something I've been widely anticipating for a long time. I've only recently started to think about it because it's been sort of bountied, and now we're going to cover it, and now I'm starting to get excited about it. So I don't want to be disingenuous and say I was excited for Logan the whole time, because I wasn't. I feel like my man Wolverine has gone the way of a way I didn't want him to go, or at least the whole X-Men franchise and film is kind of meh. But I'm getting excited for Logan, but we're not going to talk about Logan. Mm. I'm going to talk about this next one, and I'm mad that I'm even falling back into the trap, but I cannot help myself because it's Ridley Scott and it's Alien.
Oh, okay.
I love Ridley Scott. Okay. Love him. Love Michael Fassbender.
Yep.
And his giant German schnitzel. And I'm looking forward to this, man. You know how I feel about Prometheus, right? I didn't love Prometheus.
I don't think many people did.
I struggled with Prometheus a lot. So I'm hoping Alien Covenant can do something that the other movie failed to do. So I'm hopeful. Okay. And I'm looking forward to it. I want to see it. I want to get out there. I love Aliens. I love the franchise. I think the franchise should keep going. It might as well, like every other franchise, right? If you want to stay relevant, if you want your intellectual property to endure, you have to continue to make shit for it, right? Or just, pull up your flag and go do a different thing and stop making alien movies. But my guess is if you're passionate about the product, which Ridley Scott clearly is, I'm sure he's also passionate about the payday, but I hope that his vision comes to fruition in a way that makes sense this time.
Yeah.
So I'm very hopeful.
Oh, do you know what? I'm glad you chose this, because this was one of my final two that I was going to be doing. That's good.
Nice. One of my final two as well.
Yeah. Okay. Alien Covenant. I'm looking forward to this. I'm getting more buzzed about this the more I see that trailer. I am worried that it's just going to be a flop again, because Prometheus, although it looked beautiful, it was a fucking stinker. It really was. But I've got my own views on that as well. But this, once again, it looks beautiful. He really does know how to create a world, and just, it looks so fresh. But I'm worried that the story will probably be the same.
Right.
He's going to be treading on old ground, whether he's getting rid of Prometheus and saying, well, do you know what, let's just forget about that, and it didn't happen. Or it could be we might just touch on it, or it could be intrinsic to this story. I'm not too sure how he's going to go with it. The problem with alien movies is, as we said before, the sequels it needs to be bigger, it needs to be badder, it needs to be faster and more blood. And sure. I'm worried about this because I want to see the Xenomorph, but I don't want them to rush it. If they've got a story to tell, they should take their time to tell that story, and not just because 100 million people hate Prometheus. Don't rush your story because of that, because it might actually work. There was a good story buried beneath all the crap that was going on in Prometheus.
I was so excited about the possibilities of Prometheus, and that's why I was so ultimately let down, because it was getting really existential, and I was like, yes, we got some deep philosophy in Alien, and I'm looking forward to it, and the origin of the species and all this nutty shit. And then it just was like, meh. I was like, ugh, brutal.
Yeah, the execution was very poor. It really was.
What's funny about Alien, though, is that it kind of looks like it's just going to be a sort of, I mean, what's it say? The crew of the colony ship Covenant, bound for a remote planet on the far side of the galaxy, discover what they think is an uncharted paradise, but it's actually a dark, dangerous world. When they uncover a threat beyond imagination, they must attempt a harrowing escape. I mean, this sounds like A to B, B to C Alien movie, right?
Yeah. What I've seen on the trailers, though, it does look really good. But then again, they did that with Prometheus. They really pulled me in with that trailer. That trailer was fucking amazing. That is
so
how
let me
you do
ask,
trailers.
Do you feel like, because I feel like with Prometheus that it was a trailer that set upon my imagination with both fangs, and it made me start to go, wow, they're going to get into some really deep things with Alien, right? That's how I felt about Prometheus. Do you think Alien Covenant is going to just say, you know what, we're going to keep it simple, we're not going to get high and mighty, we're not going to get too ahead of ourselves in terms of the heady concepts here? Do you feel like they're going to scale it back, or do you think they're going to try to drop some intrigue on you?
I think they'll scale back on the mythos. I think they're just going to go back to maybe try and go back to the horror type thing and the suspense of what is this creature. But I think they went a bit too deep with like the big head and the big vases and the space jockeys as well, and it was just too much. It was too clumsy, and I think they might scale back on that a little bit and just try and, whether they'll go for a horror, but it's hard to do a horror that you know about the monster.
Sure,
it's really hard to do that, and that's where new monsters come in. They have to introduce new monsters because otherwise it's not fresh anymore. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be watching this. I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know. I'm not expecting good things. So hopefully, if I go in with a down mind towards it, then I might come out happier than what I was with Prometheus, because I came out there going, that was shit. Right. That was crap.
I know how you feel.
Yeah. But I'm hoping. I've got a thought on Prometheus. I've said this a couple of times, but I'm going to say it again just to get your thoughts on it. What was her name? Vickers. I thought that she was an android in Prometheus, and she would turn out to be Mother in Alien.
Ooh. I like that a lot.
She could be giving off a signal. Wayland don't know exactly where to go back looking for it, but they're looking for a signal, and then Mother, being Vickers, is looking for a signal around that sort of area, because Prometheus was on a moon adjacent to LV-426.
Sure.
And so it's in that sort of vicinity, and that is what's going to pull them down into Alien. So that was my thought anyway, and I'm still holding out for that.
That's
still
awesome.
want that.
I like that a lot. Maybe you should send it in, see what they say. That's slick. I like it.
Cool.
But Alien, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping I hope it's good. I'm worried. I do like Ridley Scott. I'm still worried. I don't know if Ridley Scott still has it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. I'm not sure. He might be. I don't know if he does. I'm not sure. I'm concerned. But
I think he's got it in the visuals, definitely.
Yeah, he always has had that, right?
Yeah.
But I guess time will tell. When this comes out, we'll know.
Cool. Okay.
All right, my big one.
Right.
You want my big one?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Fucking Blade Runner.
Ooh, okay.
If you know. Yes.
Blade Runner 2049.
Yes. Because I have a real crush on Denis Villeneuve,
Okay.
the director. I think he's outstanding. He's done really good movies. He did The Arrival, which I kind of have mixed feelings on. I really want to watch it again. But he did do Sicario. He did do Prisoners. He did do Enemy. I think he has a real eye for composition. His movies look beautiful. If you haven't seen Sicario, I think you should check it out just based on the visuals of it alone.
I'm writing it down now.
Yeah, it has a bit of it has a build up in pace that I appreciate. And it's a cool story. I thought it was just really well executed, and it had a grit to it. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't seen any of his other movies, I think you should check them out. Sicario, Enemy, Prisoners. I mean, they all have a little something to them. Right. And when I heard that he was the guy for Blade Runner, I was very excited because I think with Blade Runner, you're coming from a man we were just heaping praise upon by talking about his visuals, and that, of course, is Ridley Scott. I think that Denis Villeneuve is shooting some beautiful cinema right now. I think that he is making really pretty pictures, to use layman's terms, and I think that his visual style is probably my favorite going right now. Mm-hmm. He's great. Him and Michael Mann. There's a few others that visually, when I watch their movies, I go, wow, this is amazing to look at. There's something just about the way he frames his shots. And I think that a film like Blade Runner, which is just dripping with sauce, right? There's a lot of atmosphere. It's all about atmosphere and the cyberpunk genre, and capturing that in the first movie was done so well in terms of the visual style that I'm really hoping that Blade Runner can do it again. It's been a long time. I think it's fine to do a sequel for Blade Runner. This franchise is very old. It isn't even a franchise. And I'm fine with Ryan Gosling. I think he's pretty good. I think Jared Leto's good. I think Robin Wright's I think she's brilliant. Mm-hmm. She's great in House of Cards. And of course, I like Harrison Ford. I think he's great. I got to be honest, I'm a little nervous about him. I don't know. I don't want it to be the Han Solo thing where it's all him. Yeah. Lenny James is in it, as we know from Walking Dead. He's brilliant. But I'm looking forward to it. I think Gosling can do it. I don't know if he would have been my first choice. I probably would have went with a more classically darker type of leading man. He's more of a, like the blonde-eyed, blue-eyed guy. I want more of a, and I'm not saying it should be Keanu Reeves, but more of that kind of guy, that look, that dark type of personality.
Yeah.
Maybe even I feel like this would have been this could have been great for Fassbender or somebody like that. But I'll take it. What the fuck do I know? I'm not a casting director. But I am looking forward to this movie very much. I hope it's good. Denis Villeneuve has yet to really disappoint me, so he's got a good thing going. And that's, of all the movies coming out, and all the people involved in those movies, I have a lot of faith in this particular movie because of the director.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Good stuff. I'm not a fan of Blade Runner.
I knew this.
Yeah. But it's not that I can't appreciate it. And right. I think it really does look gorgeous. It does. But it's the noir thing that I have a problem with. I really battle with this genre.
Interesting. Not like not a fan of the noir genre at all.
Over the years, I've noticed that the films that we review on Black Dog, if they're noir, I don't think I'm going to like them. You're better off telling me it's not noir and then let me dive into it and then working it out for myself and then, okay, I don't like this. It just doesn't work for me.
What do you suppose is the leading cause of that, without getting off on a huge tangent here?
I honestly haven't worked it out yet.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Honestly haven't worked it out yet because I haven't seen enough to work it out. But it's just something that really doesn't gel with me at all.
Sure.
Maybe I'm just too stupid for them. I don't know, but it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. Oh, by the way, I know there's not many people in the chat room at the moment because of the late time and stuff like that, but I'm just going to refresh the feed just in case, just so we can finish off and
Sure.
Do it. I want to do one more film anyway, at least.
I think I know which one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still haven't read that email yet. So hang on, let me just refresh that. I'm hitting that back up now. So
No problem.
Okay, right. So that's back in now, so we can carry on. Blade Runner. I've seen the trailer a couple of times today for this. I'm excited for it. For whether it's going to be noir again or not, I do not know. But it does look good. I like Ryan Gosling. I like Harrison Ford, as you said. I like Jared Leto as well, in pretty much everything that he's done. So
Sure.
I'm on board on that. There's no problems at all. Denis Villeneuve, I don't know. The Arrival looked really good. I had problems with that film though.
Yep, I got you. That's fair.
I did.
Is that the only Villeneuve film you've seen?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny because I thought he had a perfect record up until Arrival.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't dislike Arrival. When I walked out, I was like, okay, I like a lot of what's going on here. I really need to watch it again. When I went in to see it, I was pretty exhausted in its pacing. I was like, all right, I'm going to get comfortable here. But I'd like to watch Arrival again. And in fact, I'd like to cover it on the show. So that's, I'm sure, in our not too distant future.
Right. Yeah, I had issues with it. So, but I'm looking. I'm more excited for my friends that really like Blade Runner.
Right.
And I want them to be happy with this. If they're happy with it, then I'm happy with it, and then we can all carry on. But I know if it doesn't work out, then it's not going to be a pretty place. The internet really isn't. So I'm hoping for other people that this works out really well, more than myself.
Perfect.
Right. Okay, am I going to open this email? I'm going to open this email, find out what you thought was going to be my number one.
Say it. Say it first, then open
okay.
it.
Dunkirk.
Open your email, sucker.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh, you bastard. Yeah, you got it right. Oh, man.
Okay, so here is my internet sleuth work.
Go on.
So I know that you just started a Band of Brothers podcast.
Yes.
Brilliant, by the way. I have it downloaded. I haven't listened to any of it yet. I'm not going to lie to you, but I do want to listen to it because it's amazing. And I'm looking forward to your insights on it. Now, I had a feeling that, you know, the specific moment in history, I had a feeling was going to pique your interest.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a Chris Nolan fan,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't know much about. I don't know how you feel about Tom Hardy. I personally love the guy. I know Kenneth Branagh is fucking brilliant, but I thought Dunkirk. He just started World War II podcasts. He's a goddamn Englishman. He's gonna pick Dunkirk. It's got to be Dunkirk, right? So that was it.
Oh,
cool.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Have you seen the trailer for this? Because
oh my word, have I seen the trailer? Yeah, it looks amazing.
It looks fucking awesome. Right,
it looks amazing.
Christopher Nolan.
He's
done some fucking good shit, hasn't he? He's done.
He sure has.
Has he done any stinkers? I suppose The Dark Knight Rises is the biggest stinker for me. Out of everything, I'm just going to go down what he has done. Memento, I haven't seen it yet.
Memento's good.
That was a screenplay, though, wasn't it? He was the writer for that. Hang on, let's go to the direct. Interstellar, Dark Knight Rises, Inception, brilliant. The Dark Knight, Prestige, brilliant. Batman Begins, all right. I like what he...
Memento.
Yeah. I like what he churns out.
I have not seen Following. Oh, Written By. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's an animal. He's an animal, this guy.
Yeah. I just love the way that Inception was a thank you to him from was it Warner Brothers after doing The Dark Knight.
Sure.
I just love that idea. I think that's
Well,
brilliant.
what do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, I think because it had done so well, and the two Batman movies had done so well that they turned around and said to him, "Here, look, we got this.
Okay.
Just go make that and
Gotcha.
have a field day with it. You know, you've been a good boy. Play with that." And what we got was fucking brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah.
And this Dunkirk, it looks fucking awesome. The story behind it as well is fucking heartbreaking. It's World War II. You've got Allied troops trying to get off beaches or off a beach, and they're surrounded by Germans, and there's people coming to help. And it's 8 days? Is it 8 days? Or I think it's 8 days worth of, or set over 8 days. It's just going to be incredible. I was speaking to Pete and Andy, who I did the Band of Brothers podcast, which is coming out very soon, and we were talking before we went recording, and they said about he got the Spitfires correct, and I was asking about that, and I knew that the Spitfires couldn't roll because they are gravity fed engines, and so when you roll, the engines splutter, and it sounds like he's got that correct as well.
Wow.
So it's the attention to detail that I'm really looking forward to on this. It's also got a stunning cast. You got Tom Hardy in there. You got Cillian Murphy, Kenneth Branagh as well. Harry Styles from One Direction. What the fuck? Oh god. Yeah.
Branagh's I love Kenneth Branagh. I think he's great.
Yeah. I'm hoping Harry Styles might get a bullet somewhere. I don't know.
Not a fan.
Well, yeah, he's from a pop group, and
right.
I think this might be his first film. Good luck to him. You know, he's a multimillionaire. If you want to do this, go for it.
Did they have to
man.
chop all his hair off, or what? I mean, yes.
I hope so.
Yeah, they must. If he's going to be a soldier,
Yeah.
a soldier.
Yeah, I hope so. But this, it looks fucking stunning. It really does. So yeah, I'm gonna spaff my wad all over this one when it comes out.
I like it.
When is it due out? I know, July. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, man, I'm all over that.
I'm surprised it wasn't in June, right? Or when was the May and June?
It was
evacuation?
May, yeah.
Yeah. Yeesh. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, man. This is going to be intense. The teaser alone gave me goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sound of the planes and the guys looking up.
Yeah, it's
Yikes.
very reminiscent of Saving Private Ryan on the beach as well.
Sure.
You're going to have all them visuals as well, and hopefully the story to go along with it. That he's got the actors to do it as well. Right. I love Tom Hardy. I loved him in pretty much everything I've seen him in. I'd loved him in the Revenant as well. I thought he was great in that. But
True Confessions, haven't seen it yet.
No, it's fucking good. It is really, really good.
Yeah, I'll check that out. How's Leo?
Hey, he's all right.
All right.
Yeah, he's all right.
All right. Just checking in. They finally gave him his fucking stupid trophy.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was well worth it, I thought.
Cool. Yeah, man. So that's a good pick. I like your style. He's the man.
Yeah, I like the way that you knew that as well. That's good.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think there are any sleepers in here that could be good that we didn't name? I don't know how much of the list. And when I say the list, we're kind of on IMDb going through anticipated films. There's one that, in other words, do you think any of these big ones are going to flop? Or do you, how about that? Any of these you think might flop? Any of these do you think might do better than expected?
I don't know. If there's one that I've mentioned that might flop, I think it might be Kong.
Yeah.
Out of the ones I'm looking at, I've written down. What have I written down? You got Guardians of the Galaxy. That's going to do fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and I think that'll be good too.
Yeah, The Great Wall. That is going to flop. I think that's
Jesus,
Matt Damon on
what
the
fucking mess. that looks terrible.
Yeah. The Fate of the Furious. You got Fast and Furious 8. I think it is. That's going to
okay. Let me correct my language. How about is going to end up being awful, or is going to end up being very good?
Oh, okay.
I think some of the obvious ones. I think Dunkirk's going to be great.
Yep.
But honestly, I am going to tell you this right now. Of all the movies we've talked about, I think with confidence, Dunkirk's the only one I could probably tell you is going to be amazing. The rest, I'm fucking flip a coin. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty confident John Wick will be what John Wick's going to be, but outside of that, I have no clue. I think Mute is probably going to end up being good. We talked about that, but I don't know. I don't know if Blade Runner's going to be good. I don't know if Alien's going to be good. I don't know if Star Wars is going to be good. I just don't. Justice League, who knows? Wonder Woman, I don't know.
That's right. Yeah. But I think it's a superhero thing that they can always rely on doing the next movie.
Yeah, good point. There's a movie in here that made me think of you, and I thought this is the kind of movie I would definitely be into, but there wasn't a lot on it, and I'm going to try to find it as one of my. This is going to be my dark horse movie that I think might be good. I just made that up, that category. Here's my dark horse that could be good. The Coldest City.
Never heard of it.
So listen to this. An undercover MI6 agent is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a missing list of double agents. That sounds awesome.
James McAvoy. Okay.
Yeah. The only problem is Charlize Theron supposed to be English? They couldn't have got Emily Blunt to do that. My favorite woman on the planet right now. I'm coming to your country for her, by the way. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, but I was sticking up for having Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell. So
we can make a trade. Want to make a trade? I'll send you her. You send me Emily, and we'll call it a day.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, does that not sound awesome? Cold War spy shit. Berlin, missing agents, a murder. I love this spy stuff. Spy thrillers are fun to me.
Yeah, I can dig that.
I think McAvoy's good. Yeah, I don't know. John Goodman's in it, your boy.
Yep.
So I don't know. Could be good. Could be terrible. Daniel Bernhardt's in it. I like him. That's of course Shane.
Based on a graphic novel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Based on an Oni Press graphic novel.
There you go.
So that might be worth having a look.
That's my sleeper. That's my sleeper pick of a movie that I think I'm going to like this year.
Oh, okay,
that I didn't name. And if I'm a betting man and I want to play a game, I'm going to say that this is kind of a safe bet. It's not really controversial, but I have a feeling Alien Covenant's going to suck.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for it, but I think it's going to suck. And I think it goes without saying that, the Pirates movies. What about Trainspotting 2? Really? Well, I mean, Trainspotting is amazing. It's a great fucking movie. I like Danny Boyle. But what do you think about a sequel? How do you feel about that?
I think they've left it enough time for us to grab a sequel. So I've got no problems in that. The only thing that bugs me about it is everyone's calling it T2. And there's only one T2, isn't there?
Surely.
So,
yeah, that's grounds for dismissal, honestly.
Yeah. One I am looking forward to, I know I'm running out of time here, but Life looks good. That
yes.
I'm trying to remember their name now. It's Jake Gyllenhaal is in that.
Yeah, he's the man. I like
they're capturing a craft that has been sent back from Mars with signs of life on it, and
awesome.
Everything goes to shit as well normally.
Yeah, but that doesn't see that strikes me as having a lot of intrigue and possibility there. I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
but there's not a lot of other things. Apparently they are going to do a Sicario follow up.
Okay,
but it's not going to be Denis Villeneuve. It is going to have Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro. I'm not sure if that's going to be any good. I kind of feel like you could probably leave Sicario alone. The Second World War Z movie's coming. I couldn't care.
I'd rather watch Baywatch than the Second World War Z.
I could get into some Baywatch. If no one else is around, know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll leave it at that.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for for joining me for this. It's
fun.
Good, man.
Awesome.
I like doing this. It's cool. Would you do me the honor of spreading your wares onto whoever is listening to this?
Oh, sure. It would be my honor, sir. I'm Dean. I'm part of a podcasting group. It sounds like we're actors. I'm part of a podcasting troupe. No, we're not. We're simply podcasters. Go to libertystreetgeek.net where you can hear me and Jessica, Josh, and Matthew, and in infinite various, well, not infinite, but multiple combinations of those people covering various films and televisions. Definitely check us out. We have a lot of fun. We do the science fiction film podcasts. We talk about TV shows, and I don't know. We have a lot of fun, and apparently people in the UK love us because we get good ratings on your iTunes over there.
Good stuff.
Maybe it's because we make fun of ourselves a lot, self-deprecating and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's always helpful. I feel definitely.
We've accidentally endeared ourselves to the UK crowd.
I think that's the Dunkirk spirit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay, cool.
But thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. If you're listening to this on my feed, for sure go listen to Shonky Lab. Mm-hmm. If you Google Shonky Lab, you're going to find it. Elton crushes it over there. He talks about a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of cool insight and a wide variety of topics, which I'm very jealous of him for being able to do that.
Yeah.
I don't have a wide variety of topics. That's something we might be looking at in the future. And also, when you get a second, thank Elton McManus for the fact that LSG Media does anything on Mixler, because it was his idea that he sort of talked me through setting that up, and he's why we do live shows at LSG Media. So thank you for that, good sir, and thanks again for having me, and I look forward to this again. You are welcome. Just for your listeners as well, can I just direct them to a couple of shows as well? By all means. Okay, right. If you download podcasts, then you need to download the Black Dog podcast. It's my version of, I'm the fourth chair on a film review podcast. So yep. It's a really good community. It's like a book club community where we set out homework for people to watch a film and then they send feedback in. So it's always a good spirit. It's really good people over there. So please pop along to Black Dog on the Facebook and iTunes and places like that. Shonky Lab, obviously. Please pop along there. Hypnagoria, he's done by one of my co-hosts on the Black Dog podcast. It's nice. Real dark stories, and it's really hard to pigeonhole Jim and what he does over there. So I think if you like books, if you like dark horror stories, if you like mystery and intrigue, then please pop along and check out Hypnagoria. There you go. What else? Space Doc Jury, you can check that out as well. That's three guys with beards talking about spaceships. And I've got the Band of Brothers podcast as well. Which is slowly working its way out. I've got another episode to put out on there. I've just got to do a little bit of editing on that, but once that's up and rolling, then hopefully it might even have Josh on there at one point as well. So we shall see what happens with that. Right on. Yeah, I mean, look, this guy's got a family, a full-time job, and he's pumping out podcast after podcast after podcast. So if you don't think you can do a podcast, you fucking can. You just got to put the work in. Yeah, that's right. By the way, your Black Dog list of recent films: Midnight Run, Prestige, Miller's Crossing, Ex Machina. Mm-hmm. You guys got to listen to that shit. I'm guessing you didn't like Miller's Crossing because of the noir aspect? Yeah, that's right. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. I'm off the show. Just kidding. Well, you have a good night, brother. It was a pleasure. No, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you to everyone who's listened to this. If you did listen to this live, still download it. You don't get out of it that easy. So yeah, you got to download it. Subscribe, rate, and review. Come on, guys. You know the drill. Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much, guys, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.